I wanted to speak about something that happened to me last week. Last week I submitted a Freedom of Information request. I emailed my request directly to the FOIA officer listed for Spotsylvania, which is Dr. Martin, on Monday, September 6th. I asked for specific emails for a specific time period. I have not yet received the information I've asked for, so you could imagine my surprise when I saw a YouTube video Thursday evening from the candidate for Lee's Hill referencing the exact information I requested just days prior. Somehow my FOIA request appears to have been sent outside of official channels, and again, I, the person who requested the information in the first place, still do not have what I requested. Please help me understand how that makes any sense. Thank you.
So the first thing I did is I got on the county website because I wanted to call my rep to find out what was going on. I couldn't do that. I then got on Facebook. She didn't have a Facebook page. So the only thing I could do is I just emailed every school board rep there was, and I just said Kirk Twigg was 100% right as far as the damage this was going to do to the special needs kids, and Baron Braswell was wrong on this. And I laid out the case of what they were doing to my son. Several school board members responded. Kirk Twigg responded and was helpful during this process. Baron Braswell was amazing, and we ended up in multiple phone conversations, which is what led me to where I'm sitting in front of you right now. Erin Gramp responded and explained her stance on it, at least. Ms. Phelps, on the other hand, what she did was, say, yes, you have valid concerns, but instead of dealing with the issue that I was contacting the board, forwarded my email to the director of special needs, the same department that had told me what was going on, saying, help this man. Well, of course, special needs knows what's going on and knows the people they need to help. And it just kind of showed she really didn't understand how to do things. Because the issue was a board decision, special needs department were kind of hamstrung by everything. So Baron Braswell and I started talking. He called me, and I give him credit. We got very passionate in our discussion. He was the first one to bring it up because I was explaining the situation and how my son and other kids were damaged by this decision. It was something he hadn't even thought about. And that's when he first started saying, hey, we need somebody like you who could come and actually be willing to communicate. Because here's what it turns out. Is Ms. Phelps has refused. I voted for her because she said she wanted to bring civility to politics. Kids don't have a D and an R next to their name, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I've talked about it before. But she came to the board and she refused to give any of the chair people in her tenure her phone number. Erin Gramp for 1 year, Baron Braswell for 2 years, and currently Don Shelley. None of them have her phone number. You're not willing to talk to them. So if your constituent had a problem, how is she going to deal with it if she won't communicate with them? I came to thank the board, particularly Mr. Braswell. When you pulled the special need kids, I don't think the board fully realized the impact. And Mr. Braswell and I had some very heated Freeman conversations. And Mr. Braswell, I give you 100% credit for coming back, admitting you were wrong, and bringing these kids back. My son needed it. The incumbent for our district, we don't know where she stands on this issue. Reason being, she has no Facebook, she has no YouTube. You can't even call her because she doesn't have a phone number on the website. So we don't know how she stands. And I think part of the job as a school board rep is to keep your constituents informed. When I'm elected, I will maintain a page like this. I don't know if it'll be the exact page or not just because of the legalities of it, but I will maintain a social media presence so that you can reach out to me and say, Rich, what's going on? My phone number will be on the website. So you could call me and say, Rich, what's going on? We need to hear from our constituents. We need to know, and we don't have that now. So in all the stuff back and forth, I had to inform Ms. Phelps what was going on, how I was getting it fixed, because she was unable to because she couldn't talk with her other board members. And so I got Baron Braswell to agree on the next week, I think it was February 3rd, they were having a budget work session. I got Baron Braswell to agree to bring it back up and that he would change his vote, which would then be 4-3 to bring the special needs kids back right away. And I had to tell her what was going on because she doesn't communicate with people. And that's when she finally gave me her phone number. She's like, 3 hours before the meeting, she emailed me, wait, we're gonna be discussing this? Call me. So I was on my phone. I called her within 2 minutes, let's say. Got a voicemail. So I responded back a few minutes later, said, here's my phone number, call me. So they had the meeting that night. She never called me that night. They had the meeting. Now, here's what's funny is at 8 o'clock at night, roughly, Dr. Baker's going through the capital improvement projects, talking about how we're spending millions of dollars. She sends me an email during that whole process saying, oh, you're right, it looks like we are going to discuss this tonight. I would think she should be listening to how we're spending millions of dollars. And so the motion came up, and the board actually voted to reverse that decision, 7-0, bring it back the following Monday. The first time she actually called me was the next evening, 24 hours after I fixed the problem, to thank me for fixing it, saying, you don't understand what you did, you know, how you did it, what you were saying, and the effect it had. And I'm like, yeah, I knew what I was doing. Why didn't you? And it was Mr. Braswell during our conversations who, as I said, first asked me to do this.
Make this as simple as possible in regard to having constituent in the Livingston district ask for a FOIA request, and within a matter of 24 to 48 hours before she even receives a response to it, a school board candidate in the Lee Hill district has posted a video about it discussing her private FOIA requests. I just want to know where the train left the station from private emails and private school administration, school board members into the public to the hands of public candidates running for office.
I will answer that, Dr. Martin.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
I am forwarded FOIA requests. And the FOIA request was asked of a school board member with a private citizen. I know the private citizen, so I asked if it was allowable to let the private citizen know that that person was included in a FOIA request.
I've just spent a bunch of time out walking in the mist, knocking on doors. It's really interesting talking with people. You find, I'm always going to be honest with you. I might not give you the answer you want to hear, but I will always be honest with everybody. Matter of fact, when I was talking with one lady today, she was unfamiliar with the issues, but as we're talking, her views more aligned with my opponent. And I actually told her that. I said, if that's the way you feel, and of course then we did some more talking. I said, but if that's the way you feel, I said, you might want to consider voting for the incumbent. But actually, I think she's going to end up voting for me the way she was talking, but we'll see what happens with all of that. You know, I've been getting a lot of advice. I've been having a lot of meetings. The biggest thing about this is you need to find out what's going on.